What's up, guys? Back in today with another reaction to Medalist, this time with episode 12, the episode just before the finale, I believe. Good episode last week. We ended up going on this training camp. We got Mike Chan back, which is really awesome. I love her character a lot. She's super cute and love her dynamic with Inori. So really glad to see her back in the story. But quite a lot of focus on Rio last week. We saw a really awesome scene with Sukasa as well with Rio. But I think we'll be continuing off on this. We were talking about. I always forget her name, so apologies. But the black haired top level skater. We were talking about her coach and yeah. Rio is super affected by that guy, so looking forward to seeing how we do continue that today. Let me know what you guys think about this episode though down in the comment section. Leave a like on the video if you guys did like, and subscribe to the channel if you do want to keep up to date. Jun Yodaka. Kokiburi no Mu. Lovely. It's one of those words I just like. I'm quite familiar with Gokiburi just because Yu-Gi-Oh! There's plenty of Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards that are just their Japanese name in English. He looked absolutely broken by the time he got here last week, didn't he? Look at him. Oh, I thought, to be honest, last week I didn't mention this, but I thought his legs were where Sukasa was holding his skates. Let's go. Let's go, Rio. I've never seen a cockroach in real life. It's gonna sound weird. I imagine we do have them here, but I'm not even sure we have them in England. I mean, you hear about like roach infestations, but I've never heard about one in. I've heard about them in movies, especially American movies and such. But yeah, I don't actually know. I think I have actually seen one. When I was like really young, perhaps. I remember like a hissing kind of like sound. I don't know. It wasn't like out in the wild. It was probably at a zoo type of place. Hey, Johannes. Chirone's lesson. We're going to show that we're not just good at working out our abs and our muscles. That's pretty impressive. No matter what area you're in, doing something once and be able to replicate it is very impressive. A somber song, isn't it? When you get older, sometimes you can't stretch that far. I've always been quite good with my um, flexibility. Oh damn! Fucking hell! Again, I'd throw up doing that shit. That is insanity. It's insanity you can build up that much momentum to spin that fast. Again, lovely song. Lovely song. Oh, Jesus. Even his fingertips. Well, God damn, Sukashi, you didn't need to flex on us like this. Jesus. I mean, it was needed for Rio. The amount of disrespect this kid's been having. But, just does it. Just does it. What the fuck was that? A camel spin. Damn, we have to start this episode off so good. Like, what the hell? Straight into this? Bang. That was pretty fucking incredible, wasn't it? Shoot off a bit too much. Sorry, guys. Didn't even get a chance to clap. Sorry, guys. What that doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna have to listen to that again because he jumped multiple times during that segment. Sorry, but like I said, I mean, we're only 7 minutes in. Jesus, do we have to start out the episode that strong? What the hell? Oh, she did say something similar to that. To be fair, not sure that makes sense though. Does it? Maybe they're just trying to play it down a little bit. Maybe they know he's being a bit too smug about her coach. And so they should be. And so she should be, sorry. That was pretty damn incredible. Don't be afraid. You can say it. You can say it was impressive. This is empty. Yeah, this is empty goals. Is he going to be revising it? I can't believe they put it up. I mean, to be fair, can't really fault them for putting up. Can't leave them out, but didn't put anything on there. Hope we get in there and we see it's been written on. I can't look at you. Well, I think there's a certain amount of professionalism in having an emotional bond like this. It's almost a skill set in itself. It's something that can't be taught, but it is a skill. And it was a big draw as a coach. Unku. It's quite funny. The puncture. So I'm not sure if that's Punku or this guy looks a little bit like a punk. Punku. Chilo. Well, kids are certainly blunt, aren't they? From a Yankee. He does ballet as well. Man, ballet is so brutal. Thing. I think once you grow up, you actually get in a like you think, oh, so girly and so on. But as you grow up, I mean, I'm not like a fan of it, but it's so impressive and so taxing. It looks so taxing on your feet, and it looks so brutal. Like the weight, your toes. Like that's actually one of the most brutal looking things you could do from the outside looking in. Honestly. I suppose a lot of this does carry. This is very much in line with ice skating, isn't it? Though, to be fair, there's a lot of things that carry over. No, no, one of these people might actually end up being a better ballerina than ice skater. But he's a really awesome, like he's a really nice guy as well. Mm. Again, it probably would be handy to get better at this, but oh my god, yeah, that's so rude. She's always so rude, but you've got to appreciate the honesty. And again, it's a shame because this seems like a lovely guy. We keep, I don't know what it is with the people who do the subtitles in the show, but I keep calling them goobers. What does that mean? Sure was a lot of airtime. I've never been awfully good at. Well, I was never that good at long jumping or anything. I've always had quite a bit of power in my legs, but yeah. So that's probably one of my weaker points, to be honest. So again, everything in my body tells me that I'd probably suck at this type of stuff. That's the way I look at it. Come on, Nikkei-chan. Almost everything in life is a matter of perspective. Almost everything. That's the thing. Like, I think this maybe translates over, but I remember when all my friends started like skating and such. I was always never that good at stuff like that. I was always a bit scared. She brought up here like she's always thinking about landing. That's what I was always thinking of when I'd like try stuff. It'd always be I would always probably hinder myself because I'd think of the consequences of falling off and getting injured and hurting yourself and having a big fall and messing up and like smacking it against like your shins or something like that. So I never really put my all into it in that regard. So yeah, that's an interesting thing she brings up there. It's a psychological barrier of kind of safety. It's kind of like putting yourself all in. It's quite an interesting to look back on, like when you've tried stuff in your past sports or whatever it is. If there's anything that does kind of line up with that, like I said, I feel like it's just normal human nature to worry about your well-being, of course, but yeah, to like exceed at stuff like this, like I said, I feel like you need to be have a certain level of crazy within you that doesn't care if you get hurt or not. I feel like I do that with football. Like I'll go for in for a challenge or for a header or something that I could get injured and hurt myself for, but I'm like willing to do that in that sport, whatever reason. Maybe because I've got teammates that actually like rely on you, so you would do that for your teammates rather than yourself. Whereas with like solo stuff, like what I was talking about, like skateboarding, you haven't really got anything on the line but yourself. Oh, Mike. That's the face you want to see. Man, I love Mike. One of my favourite characters in this show. He's got so much personality. Ooh, Goria. Man, what a couple of weeks it's been for these kids, by the way. Go, Mika. Oh, she actually did. Oh, what's going on here? Wow. Again, this just tells you like these coaches are so good. Proof's in the pudding. I remember when I was younger, I used to have to do a few of these not Pilates but like stretching yoga kind of sessions, and yeah, never very fun. Good for you though. So I think he called himself earlier Shiro Neko. I think that's maybe why he's interested in the cat haircut. That is so cute. I'm going back to that. I think he again. It wasn't in the subtitles. I think he said it sounded like I didn't mention it because I thought I might have been hearing things, but I think he said something about like calling himself like Shiro Neko earlier, and I guess that would also go with what he's been teaching here. I mean, yeah, yeah. A whole identity. Again, she's just like an absolute bundle of energy, isn't she? Hmm. He's bragging to her about Sukasa. That's because you're kids. He is definitely the most non-kid kid for good reason. Don't get me wrong. As someone I mentioned about the show in general, they're actually really good at not making these adults that act like kids are kids, and he just so happens to act like an adult a little bit. I think that's just a classical problem of adults writing kind of stories with children in there. It's from an adult's perspective. Really hard to do. I think this show nails it, capturing that kind of that energy. It's a little sad. Yeah, I've always thought this as well. It's like if you, because sorry to pause for a sec because we're having a moment here. I do just not want to spoil it. Even when you do like again, I started playing football when I was like 13, and like people usually start when they're like 4, 5, 6 ish. And again, I did improve quite a lot over a short period of time. But even then, it's just like, and for Honori here, you might not be talking about this right now, but it's like even though you're still so highly motivated, and you get to the point where you're on level with these people now, it's still like you'll still always have, I think, in the back of your mind like, oh, but if I did start sooner, I might be even better. Like there's always that what if, like that's always going to be there. I think like, and maybe that's not always the case. Maybe there are certain exceptions with people that they do end up like you'll never know. It just can't be known unless you're a time traveler. Maybe you actually might be better taken up at a later age and maturing, and sometimes you can get into habits when like when you're starting out something, you get into bad habits, and breaking those bad habits very tough. So perhaps actually not gaining bad habits at a younger age, but starting out a bit more mature and starting out with good habits is actually better for you sometimes. But like I said, you'll never know. That constant kind of question. Like I've always thought about that. Or I did. No, it was the bad her that got her hit. Or bad her in quotes. Again, it's just normal human how we evolve, how we learn, how we make ourselves better as people. I win every minute. You know what? This was, can't lie to you, I feel like in general the show definitely took a bit of it didn't go massively downhill, but I think the second half hasn't been as strong as the first half for sure. But I think this episode was definitely one of the best episodes of the series. Started out super strong, and then yeah, just a hell of an episode throughout. Lots of Mike, lots of like this segment here at the end, Rio coming around as well. Like, I think it's because a lot of this episode was payoff. There's been a little bit of setup, and this episode was just payoff after payoff after payoff. But I think, I don't know if it's lost in translation there at the end. Like it wasn't mentioned like this at all, so I might be totally pulling this out my ass. But I feel like she's almost like, with that scene with the sparkler going out. Again, it didn't outwardly say this, but I feel like maybe she's a little bit scared she might lose that kind of spark that she had to improve herself so much. Once you get to the way you want to be, like, will that spark and will that motivation continue? Again, I've found that when I take up a new hobby or something, I'm usually quite obsessed with it. I spend a lot of time on it, and once I get to like a good level, I do end up kind of petering out and not improving as much, and that kind of deteriorates my motivation because I don't see as big of a jump in kind of improvement as I did before. So, like I said, it didn't outwardly say that, but I feel like visually, with the sparkler going out at that time when she was talking and so on, again, maybe she was a bit scared she might lose that kind of slight desperation to improve and to catch up. Because new questions will be asked. Can you keep up? Can you keep that motivation? Yeah. It's an interesting time for her, isn't it? Time in the development. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Like I said, definitely one of the best episodes of the series, in my opinion. I feel like the last few episodes have been a bit weaker. And this, again, this was just paying off a bunch of things that we set up during those episodes. Performance from Tsukasa was fantastic. I especially think the soundtrack was probably one of the best bits of best things I've heard in the show. Let's say one of the best songs in the show. I mean, obviously the opening I think is probably my favorite thing music wise from the show, but this song they played here is going straight on the playlist. And like I said, really awesome performance from Tsukasa. I love to see Rio getting invested and admiring Tsukasa like that. That was really wholesome, and awesome to see him write on his little blank card, which is really cool. Like I said, just so many payoffs today. Mike was awesome. Like I said, she's one of my favorite characters in the show, so spending a lot of time with her today was awesome. And we got to see Rio pull off a few moves that they were looking to do for a long time. Nora getting on the action as well, and yeah, just lovely seeing to end things off. As I said, it was almost like a fan service. Like yeah, this episode was almost chock full of fan service. So yeah, loved it. Do let me know what you guys thought about this one down in the comments. Leave a like on the video if you guys would like, and subscribe to the channel if you do want to keep up to date with these reactions. And I'll see you guys next week with what I believe is the final episode.